In the same manner that I have winter blues because I can't stand the noise of the holidays and other people's stress just seeps into my life, whatever. I have the worst summer blues as well. And the temperature doesn't help, the contamination doesn't help, air pollution doesn't help. And it's kind of the same thing with people as well. Everybody is going out to do their little activities, and then everything is just more crowded and noisy than it needs to be. 2 nights ago, I had a little bit of a meltdown, but it's honestly over old issues that haven't been resolved that, you know, I've touched on here and there on the channel. But work particularly, right before a shift, I get like this extreme severe depression. And when I'm at work, I have that feeling of I am so trapped for 8.5 hours, nowhere to go, nothing to really do that's not monotonous. And I just can't stand it because I'm usually not like that, but I guess I'm entering a different stage in my life now. And I can see that and feel it, and I have this conversation with other people, and some people really feel the same. It's just weird to me. Like, I'm not sure what it would take for me to truly feel better and just satisfied with the way things are going and keep getting by and surviving, but without minding the fact that that's the way they are. That's usually how I am. We'll see. I'll keep you guys updated, but I've been feeling unlike myself. But I also think that it's got to do with my inability to take care of myself physically like I want to. Say, eating trash food, not being good about staying on top of my hydration, little things like that. It's like I lose control in one area and then another area is affected, and then the other one and the other one and the other one and the other one. So yeah, it feels like a vicious cycle, but I have faith that this is just temporary and it'll rectify itself before it gets any worse, you know what I mean? My pacing is different, and I feel like my surroundings don't support that. I can be fast about everything, but at some point there's just stuff I need like space on, you know? And that's why I guess I've been posting a little abnormally more often, and on some days I post 3 things on the same day because it's like, okay, I want to focus on myself and I love this and this is one way to do it. On the rare days when I have shifts that are short, I come home and all I do is sleep, because at nighttime I'm still struggling to get my quality sleep. But weirdly enough, I've had 2 dreams that have been of the same element. I've had dreams on 2 occasions for the first time ever, maybe like 6 nights apart, in which I'm flying. And I remember someone in the comments was asking me if I have dreams when I sleep, and I'm like, I haven't had dreams since, I honestly couldn't tell you. The dreams in which I'm flying, this time around they mirrored each other, but the theme of flying was the same. Like the way that I was achieving flight was the same. The only thing that changed is the lead up to the flight. My previous dream, I don't recall the activity that preceded the flight, but the one that I had last night, this was the strange part about it. I was trying to look at the time within the dream to confirm a text I had received within the dream, which was asking for me to be present somewhere at 4 p.m. But when I tried looking at my watch in my dream, I couldn't see what time it was. Something kept interrupting me. But I ended up seeing the person who I had agreed to meet up with within the dream. This person found me, and I was like, did you already go to the place? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, but what time is it? Because I really am trying to not lose track of time. It was like I was refusing to accept that my time was up. But anyway, the way that I achieved flight was I had the ability to jump very far. It was like, say, I could jump from one sidewalk across a 4-lane intersection and land with no problems. But if I was leaping from a spot and I was heading toward a route that had a little bit of a hill, I could kind of glide through that path, and then somewhere during the glide I could acquire enough lift to elevate myself a little bit. But it's not like I had powerful boosters that allowed me to fly anywhere I wanted with that level of freedom. It was like I had flight, but I had to calculate my maneuver and angle my hands and feet in a certain way so that I could support myself to get lift, if that makes sense. And I remember that at some point within the dream, I told myself, I'm starting to descend. What can I do to gain lift? So I decided to imitate the surface of planes, and I would angle my arms, kind of like an F-14 when it starts closing its wings. I would do that. And then on other instances, I would place both of my hands in front of me, kind of imitating a boat tearing through water like that. For some reason that helped me go faster. But yeah, I was just happy that I had a dream at all, to be honest, and that it wasn't a dream that was stressful. The incident that led up to my flight, it had to do with, for some reason, I was driving a bus, and I think that might have been influenced by something I witnessed yesterday in the daytime, of course. I saw a school bus that hit a curb while turning. And I was like, see, the person driving that bus is thinking like they're in a car. You have to make wide right turns. That's why trucks be having that little sticker that specifies that they make wide right turns. So anyway, I think this person was trying to go with the flow of traffic. But I was driving this bus. I didn't have any issues with it, but I was treating it like I do my job, which is, hey, where do these keys go? How do I apply parking brake? Like, I was asking questions about everything to some random bus driver, lady I don't recognize ever seeing. Maybe she's one of my customers, but not necessarily a regular, so I don't recognize her. I remember I was asking her all this stuff, and she was like relieved that I was there, and she had a bus of her own. But yeah, so it was strange, but I was happy that I had a dream at all. So there's still hope for me somewhere.